Leon is coming at you with another video.
What is up, everybody? I guess my co-host will be here shortly. Let me see if she's here. Oh, she is. Oh, she'll be right back. Oh, here's my co-host, and we got the 49er Saga. We got the first debut episode of 49er Saga, and we'll have to go with the catchphrase, what's the saga in SF we got to throw out there? A lot going on, right? How's it going, Danielle, a.k.a. Dub Grill Nation? Oh, I can't hear you. You're muted.
There you go.
Yeah, you're
The
muted.
saga continues. The saga continues. Like, it's drama every day with this organization.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of drama, what's been going on with Trey's name, man? God. Like,
I feel like that was very disrespectful as a mother. I can understand, but the fact that Raheem Mostert is an ex-49er and he's the only one that came to his defense bothers me. Because if it was Purdy, everybody would have been up and out. Kyle and John and everybody. The fact that you can make a comment like that, he needs to be punched in his face. He needs to really be punched in his face. Trey just gets dragged through the mud for nothing, and all he wants to do is prove, but I feel like he's lost the narrative of what it is. He, instead of going out there relaxed, having fun, he wants to be perfect and prove to Kyle, you did not waste it. And it's like, it's distracting him. Like, he's not loose. If you see him, he's constantly just, oh my God, like, traumatized by football, and all he wanted to do was play for the Niners, and they traumatized him. Like, it's sad, man.
I mean, the only teammate I saw besides Raheem Mostert was Javon Kinlaw, actually. Like, on one of the IGs, he did defended. I get what you're saying. Yeah, a lot of the teammates didn't even defend. That's kind of questionable. And I was kind of tagging George Kittle. I say, hey, where was George Kittle when you needed him? He was nowhere to be found. So how's that fair? How's that fair? Like, I get it. Maybe Brock is just getting the treatment, and maybe Shanahan just didn't want to live with being out of a job, because you know how Shanahan is. You know, he's on the hot seat. He knows if this pick doesn't pan out, he can be out of a job.
I got that.
That's how he feels.
I do need Kyle to do, though, he needs to throw a fade on Sunday. After what what's-the-name said about his daddy, I need you to really just beat Denver down. But Trey, he's been getting bashed since he got drafted. And I feel like the reps he get is not enough. So I feel like if Trey really want to get back, they need to let him go. Go to my guy, Pete Carroll, USC all day Trojans. Whoop, whoop. Let Pete Carroll get him.
Oh, no, we don't want him to go there. Then it's going to ruin us.
Yeah, let Pete get him. Let Pete get him. Turn him into a quarterback. And then, but I just hope Trey relaxes and just have fun, because he's been getting bashed since day one.
Yeah, I don't know how it's going to pan out for Trey, but it's like, I don't know why. I don't understand how Kyle uses him. Like, dude, why are you using him as a running quarterback? Like, I thought he's a pocket passer. Now they're acting stupid.
Cool.
Yeah, they thought he was actually a running guy. Okay, I guess in some ways, for what people were saying, if we were going to use him that way, maybe Justin Fields would have probably been the answer. But no, Justin Fields would probably have to be more of a passer at that point. It wouldn't be worth it. It wouldn't be worth the investment if we were going to go with Justin Fields. If it was more like if Kyle wanted the safer bet, which we didn't want, was Mac Jones. But if that was the case, I think the pressure. Do you really think that Kyle was pressure into getting Trey, or you think it was just? Oh, you think? Why do you think that way?
The narrative is, I feel like Kyle and them got Trey to shut everybody up. Like, oh, let's get the black guy. Shut up, so we can say everybody's not racist. But it's just like, I feel like he was pressured into getting Trey and to prove like I'm gonna develop a quarterback. And then it backfired when Trey left and got reps somewhere else. Like Kyle's not he doesn't develop quarterbacks. It's like, I don't know, but I feel like when he's under pressure, he folds once again, and he did. But I feel like now he has to prove that these draft picks are worth it, and it's starting to get to him.
Yeah, a lot of those picks that we wasted so much on, there was a lot of draft picks that we could have gone to. Like, if it wasn't for us going for Trey, I could imagine getting a Jamar Chase. Man, that receiving core would have been scary. Jimmy Garoppolo would have had at least a Super Bowl run with that receiving core. Nope, never happened. Oh, Michael Parsons and Nick Bosa on the same defense. Oh, man, that's a wasted opportunity, but I'm still hopeful for Trey. But, I mean, there was a lot of opportunities we missed on. But, you know.
We did. We did.
Yeah.
But maybe Kyle did see something in Trey. I feel like Trey fits better with his offense and how he rolls. Like, but my question is, with our quarterback saga, are we going to get 8-game Purdy again?
Ooh, now you're talking. Now you're getting to that question mark. You know, like I feel like this is the question we all want to know: is he the real deal? Because honestly, 8-game sample is what you just said before he got injured. Can he repeat itself? Because you know how they say, lightning doesn't strike twice. Can he do it again? Is this a fairy tale? Is this like another quarterback that we've seen in previous years? Remember Brock Osweiler when the Broncos won the Super Bowl? He had a really good, solid run, like when he got some playing time. He didn't turn out good. He got his big payday. Matt Flynn, he had some good performance. Never played it down for Seattle, but got big money out of it. I mean, you look at Rex Grossman. He won 13 games. Didn't do it. He didn't do squat after that. I mean, I can go on with other quarterbacks. We've seen these quarterbacks who come and go. I mean,
but then like I tell like a lot of fans, I appreciate Purdy for what he did. When the situation he was put in, he did it with class and poise, and he was successful. But a lot of these fans have to understand, it's not that people hate. I don't hate on Purdy. It's like, I don't want to go through it again like we went through with Jimmy. Yeah, so it's just like with Jimmy, we thought Jimmy was the guy. He was like, oh, yeah. And then bam, what happened? So it's like with Purdy, it's like, are we going to get it again? Is it coming back again? Like Purdy winning these, so like 8 games, 8 or 9 games, he was excellent. But now that that's over and you came back from surgery, are you still the same Purdy? Or did that surgery take that spark out? So we got to see. If he's Jimmy 2.0, he's good. I'm not negating, but everybody has to remember his mental status may not be the same. Who's to say he won't freeze up during a game because of what happened? So we got to be mindful, like, yeah, we got him, but give Trey the same reps and the same you do for Sam Darnold in them. Give him that same confidence. Believe in that dude, because he doesn't really believe. They don't believe. You can see how they speak on him in press conference. It's not the same with Trey as it is with Sam Darnold in them. So I need for them to have that same type of belief for Trey, because I feel Trey can be a good quarterback for us. But I've always said I believe he's going to play, but he won't be here for long. I don't believe that the Niners probably would be a good fit for him.
Not the way they're handling with him, because if you look at how they're dealing with him, I don't think it's the right way how Shanahan's using him. Like, what's so hard about using Trey exactly how you use Jimmy Garoppolo? What's so hard about using him exactly the same as Brock Purdy? It's like, why do we got to treat him like a runner instead of what he can be? He's got a good arm talent, but
a cannon, actually.
He's got a cannon, and it's like you can't coach that. And he's got some of that skill set that you can say maybe it's a little bit of Patrick Mahomes-ish, but we haven't seen a lot of that yet. Like, I'm not saying a lot of these, I guess I'll throw a shout out to Keen Steezy. Like, these, we call them the Purdy files. They get a little upset if we bring up Trey a lot. So, we feel like he's got that Mahomes-ish a little, but we're not saying he's the next Mahomes. We're just saying the talent can be. But Brock Purdy, okay. What I really like about Brock Purdy compared to what I've seen from the past years is the leadership. I like the leadership of a quarterback. Can you name a rookie who actually is well-respected just coming into the lead and acting like Peyton Manning out there and telling the teammates to shut up and focus on a play? Like, he commands the huddle. Like, Peyton Manning was a soldier. Peyton Manning would tell you to shut up and focus on the play. Like, if we saw what we saw in training camp, Danny Gray dropped the ball. You know what happened on that play? Brock Purdy went straight up to him and yelled at him, tell him to make the play better next time, which I like that in a quarterback, because you want to make sure you're on the same page. You want to make sure he's running the right routes. And usually you have
that. We could have had that with Brady. We could have had it. We could have had it. We could have had it with Brady. The problem is, because Brady has expectations and he demands greatness, and I think him and Kyle would butt heads. It's just like, because Brady cusses you out, Brady will bring that dog out of you. And Kyle's just more like conservative, laid back. He really doesn't get that hyphy, as you would say. So it was like, we could have had it with Brady, but
No, Brady's more like an SOB type of guy. He don't play around. He don't care. He doesn't nobody tells him what to do. If we wanted to get Aaron Rodgers, you think Rodgers is gonna listen to Kyle? No. Look what he did with LaFleur. That's why he's over here. I mean, it didn't last too long, but you know what? Speaking of Saga, this has kind of been my disappointment performance, since we're gonna throw it out here.
Oh, Roberto, don't talk about Moody.
This is a Saga. It's thrown out there. Saga alert. It will make Hey, we gotta talk about the kicker. Come on, you missed 2 field goals, kid.
You had one job. He probably had jitters. He probably just had the jitters. Moody's my guy. I think that day we were all moody because of him, but I feel like, he just got a little nervous, I'm on the Niners. They have an expectation of stuff, and it's just like, hey, Roberto, don't be bringing up Moody. Let it go. He's just saying thoughts on the kicker. You know what? I'm kind of critical on Jake Moody because I don't know about him. But here's the thing: if Moody keeps continuing this little struggles, you know who's over there? Zane Gonzalez. Actually, that kind of goes. Zane Gonzalez, don't sleep on a Gonzalez, because a Gonzalez can take your job. Because why I vouch for a Gonzalez? Because I am a Gonzalez. Don't sleep on Zane Gonzalez. That's a guy. But all seriously, if Jake Moody can just shake off the rust like he did on those kicks, like in practice, he looks good. He'll make the kicks, but in the real games, I want to see him being consistent. So I heard the Raiders iced him, so maybe that kind of got him off his game a little bit, but still need to get better at it. And what's up? Yeah, what's up, Cook Sports? How's it going? Shout out to my guy from Cleveland. Yeah, he's a good dude, good content creator. He's a guy from Cleveland, cool dude. Oh, David Corona, my Lakers brother from Southern California. Salute. And Roberto from the 559, which he's from Montana. He's actually living in Montana right now, but shout out to my guy. He's originally the 559 guy.
Let's see. So the kicker, I feel like that could be a saga, but maybe that will fix our issues. But here's something we could discuss about. Like, this
I
is
was gonna
something.
say I got one for you too. I
Okay.
got a question for you.
All right, go ahead.
Do you believe, and this is to everybody also in the chat,
Okay.
do you believe that Nick Bosa deserves his contract? Because TJ got 21, 28 sacks when he got Defensive Player of the Year. I think it was 21 sacks. Do you believe Bosa deserves that contract he's going to receive?
I mean, when you get Defensive Player of the Year and you've been consistent after an ACL injury, that's a no-brainer. Like, there's not many players like Bosa. They don't grow on trees.
Yeah, wow.
You either
It's
got
way
one,
better than Bosa. TJ is better than Bosa.
but TJ, he's been consistent too. But look at Bosa. Ever since he came off that ACL injury, he's kind of been consistent. I mean,
where was he at in the playoff?
Wasn't nowhere near, but still, you can't replace what Bosa is. Like, without Bosa, I don't know how our defense would be. But maybe not in the highest paid of TJ Watts, like you said. But I feel like he does deserve his pay because he's in between, and he won Defensive Player of the Year. Like, I can see why you would say, like, I can see why you feel that way because he didn't do nothing in the playoffs. But without him on the field, how's our defense looking like? We can't even get pressure to the quarterback.
He was on the field, and
no, but in some like
I'm not hating because he ain't finna get my kneecap shut off with his family legacy, but I just feel maybe his contract is a little too extreme. I feel like he doesn't deserve that much, but for 18 sacks, I don't think he should be the highest paid in NFL history at all. I don't believe that because
I would prefer top 5. I'm being honest, just in a bargain deal, maybe 28 or 27.
Yeah,
I mean, a little too much. I get what you're saying, but in his market value, he's gonna expect more. So I agree on you.
But you didn't show up in the playoffs, or you got handled. Like, you were on your back, but because that's what I'm saying. You showed up in regular season, but when we needed you to also keep that, you didn't handle your business. So that's what I'm saying. At the end of the day, I wouldn't give him that much, but I would give him something. But I don't feel he deserves that. Anybody in the chat, if you got a comment, you can come for me. I'm from the town, so it ain't gonna get me.
You're from the business, like they say in Oaktown. But David, she is Dub Girl Nation, but yeah, I guess he thinks you're Saga. But this is what he said. Yes, he does. Well, dude, I will agree with you 100%. I don't think he deserves the top pay, but realistically, he is going to get the top pay. That's the difference. I'm with you 100% on this topic. Like, you got to be consistent in the playoffs, which TJ Watt has proven. Aaron Donald, despite how I feel about him, he's been consistent. But Nick Bosa, you're getting top dollars, bro. You better produce in the playoffs. You haven't produced in the playoffs since 2021. 2021 in your rookie season. I mean, yeah, without Bosa, we haven't created enough pressure. I know our defense is different now, but I feel like when Bosa is on the field, he is a difference maker in some ways. But I feel like giving him the top dollars, that's going to hurt our team in some ways. But at this point, I would say top 5 pay, yes. Not top pay, realistically, not top pay. Hopefully he gets something very similar to his brother's contract or a little lower, take a discount. But even his brother produces okay, but he gets the top dollars.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Joey Bosa gets top dollars. That's what the brother's looking for. He's looking to beat his brother in the top dollars.
Understandable.
Yeah, you got to blame Joey Bosa for getting that top contract, and then it goes to TJ.
I mean, our other players played better than Bosa. Aaron Darnold produced in the playoffs.
Yeah.
And it's just like, I get it, them 18 sacks. He worked his ass off and he got it. And I'm never going to take that away from him. But
yeah,
I think like you got too much dip on your chip, player, and you need to take some of that off and just.
Uh, nah, it's all right. Yeah, I mean, I like that question because honestly, you're giving me a different perspective of how you feel about the pay. Like, yeah, top 5 would be fine, but I would try to not give him the top dollars because it can hurt our team later in the future with what we got to
There
pay
you
for.
go.
But let's talk about 5 players who stood out against the Raiders, even though we lost to the Raiders, and even though the Raider fans are celebrating their Super Bowl. I know, let's give them a golf clap. It is what it is. I guess they got to be excited for something. But let's talk about some players that caught your attention. So as far as like the players that that impressed you, let's see, can't find the damn thing. I had it under. Oh wait, let me go up. Matter of fact, we'll just go with 5 players who impressed you. Like, okay, so 5 of the Niners players that when you saw their preseason game, which one impressed you the most? Like, go from 5 to number 1.
I feel Trey did good. I'm gonna give it to him. I felt like what stood out the most with him is when he made a mistake, he corrected and he came back and got his thoughts together. Where most would just fumble, and I respected that about Trey. I don't really have a favorite player yet, but I felt our O line was trash. They tried. It's just not one person.
There were a JV football team up there.
He did pretty good.
Yeah, it took him a couple
snaps, but I feel like I complain every year about this O line. They're not horrible, but they can be tweaked just a little. But it's like every year we go through this. That Raider game woke us up, and we have to realize, like, we're finna play Denver, so y'all need to wake up. Like, this is your chance to prove you earned this spot on the team. And the way that they played, it was just like, it was just because it's the Raiders. They're like, we can do this, whatever. Everybody did good, but nobody really stood out to me.
I mean, I guess in some ways we can look at it that way, but as far as like 5 players that stood out to me were just guys. You may say the stat sheet doesn't mean nothing, but I like what I've seen from the backups. Like, if I'm going by 5 players, yeah, I would put Trey at number 3 because he showed he rebounded after a couple series. But Cleveland Farrell, he actually did pretty well pressuring to the quarterback and actually got a sack. I don't know if Drake Jackson come back as better as he can be, then I have no issue with him being a starter. But Cleveland Farrell could make a strong case to maybe be a starter. And then Jalen Graham, I like, the linebacker from Purdue. He looks like Keenan Turner out there. He looks straight up like Keenan Turner. Like, if you were to go back in time, that's Keenan Turner. But look at Jalen Graham, number 50. That looks like Keenan Turner just by the face. Like, I'm thinking, dude, am I in the 80s? Because that's Keenan Turner. He gives you that flashback of Keenan Turner a little bit, but then he looks like him. Yeah, like look him up. Like look up Jalen Graham's face, and you'll see the resembles of those two.
He looks exactly like that. May be related. You may find out something.
They both went to Purdue too, but one's from Detroit and one's from Chicago. But yeah. Hey, but David, we're gonna have a round check this upcoming next week on Tuesday, so don't worry about it, bro. I got you. Don't worry. But everything's going well. But yeah, Jalen Graham is somebody I really like. And I know a lot of people were pretty high on D. Winters. D. Winters is all right. But I like Jalen Graham because of his instincts and the fact that he's got a nose for the ball. Jair Brown, I think he's okay. He's gonna get better when the season comes. Man, as much as I want to get Rosterelli some of that doubt, I got to give him his flowers because he did catch a couple passes, but I don't know if he'll make the team. I think there's better quality depth at tight end. I think the most disappointing one is Cameron Latou, Jake Moody, and most of all, the one that disappointed me the most, Sam Darnold. You're supposed to score on this backup defense. Everybody's talking about he looked good. Yeah, couple good throws, but that's against a backup Raiders defense. I don't get what the hype is on him. I want to believe the hype, but I don't see it. Avery Thomas, I'll give him his flowers. He did okay. but can he do it again? Can Abry Thomas do it again? I want to see if Abry Thomas is a different Abry Thomas, because my co-host Josh Harper even says if he can be a different Abry Thomas, then you can make the team right off the bat. But I don't know. Abry Thomas.
Don't give up on. Even though I feel he's gonna get cut, Latu. I really want him to get a shot. Like, don't give up on Latu. But my favorite, I just hope, Denver game, we wake up. Like, this O-line, just, our special teams did pretty good. Our special teams, they always seem to come through in a clutch. And I respect that. But this O-line problem is like, yo, bro. Like, and then you guys need to understand, you guys are playing for a position. So that Raider game, I didn't expect razzle dazzle, but something. And it just felt like they choked under pressure. And it's like, you can't do that, man. You can't do, like, that Raider game was a disappointment. It was like watching when we destroyed Tom Brady, and it was hurting. It hurt my soul. Like,
or it was like that Eagles game where they killed us.
Like, yo. But from our coach, all three of them will get to play. So, all three quarterbacks. Hopefully, Sam Darnold, like, they say it's not his fault because he's never had a team built around him. So we're gonna see this Sam Darnold that improves, because obviously John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan felt like he was the veteran quarterback that can lead this team. And it's just like,
well, he's played over 50 plus games. He's got more experience. It kind of seems like I can see why they kind of call it the Alex Smith situation, because Alex Smith had to play through different coordinator changes. I don't know. There's another example who we had in the past, which I don't want to bring up the guy's name, but Blaine Gabbert was another failed project from the Jaguars.
Ooh, Lord.
Yeah, that's how we look at Sam Darnold. That's how we look at Sam Darnold. It seems like, don't you agree a little bit? Come on, like the kid.
When you said the name, it kind of stung in the back of my throat. I felt it. Ooh, yo, man. We've been going through this for 2 years, like so many years. Like the 49ers, I literally say this: if they don't apologize and get it right with Cap, it's over. We've been failing ever since the Cap situation. We have been going. It's the same way with Michael Jordan. How the Bulls tried to play him, and he was like, "All right, you never win again." And it's like, I know the Niners can win and get over the hump. So I'm thinking, since we have Purdy, and Purdy is the guy, we already have a Super Bowl team. All we was lacking was a quarterback. So if we get Purdy, and he's quarterback one, and he's the guy, and we have this Super Bowl team, what's stopping us from getting there now?
What's stopping us is staying healthy and Kyle Shanahan's unpredictable play calls. Those are the two concerning factors. If we can't stay healthy, then we just don't look like a good team, because all the injuries, when you look at, like, there's always been a season where outside of 2019, quarterback injuries has been the most common thing under the Shanahan era. So it doesn't matter if Brock Purdy's a starter. It doesn't matter who starts, because no matter how Shanahan values offensive line, our offensive line can't even hold up a couple of seconds. So we might have a few seconds, but they're going to get hit. That's the problem. And
do you think with Wilkes from Carolina, our new defensive coordinator, do you see him making the defense the second team defense that I feel struggle, and we need a little bit of work? So with Wilkes, can you see us just like our defense exploding more, or do you feel like it's okay?
The defense is going to be okay. I just think, like, okay, if we're talking the backup units, it's just the backup units. But I think with the first team unit, I think he's going to make the best out of them. Like, under Steve Wilkes, the secondary gets a lot of interceptions. They've actually made huge improvements under Steve Wilkes. And The one thing that people don't talk about with Steve Wilkes is the secondaries play their best ball under him.
Mm-hmm.
Like you never see, like, okay, maybe Avery Thomas is a different player. Maybe this is what we're looking at. Maybe Steve Wilkes can fix him. I don't know. He seems to make improvement. So maybe with Avery Thomas, maybe this new Avery Thomas could be our nickel or something. But I feel like if we can get I feel like with Steve Wilkes, there's going to be a different style of defense. We're going to be man-to-man coverage. We're going to blitz a little bit. We're going to be a little aggressive. No disrespect to DeMeco Ryans, a great coach too. But Steve Wilkes is more like a teacher. He will teach them. He will like at least get him in good position to be successful. If a player messes up, reception. I guess reception. She'll be back. Sorry, guys. I guess the reception issue. So she'll probably come right back. Give it a second. Something happened. But I think under Steve Wilkes, we could at least improve better in interceptions. Maybe the coverage will be better. Some of our coverage were a little suspect last year because of how DeMeco Ryans ran our defense. We weren't too much man-to-man. We were a little bit zone coverage. So maybe with Steve Wilkes, we could be more of the man coverage. Oh, what happened? Reception?
The kids pulled the damn Wi-Fi. Don't have kids. They'll destroy your life.
I thought it was the McDonald's Wi-Fi.
Sit in the house.
No, but I really think with Steve Wilkes' defense is we're going to be more of man coverage because in DeMeco Ryans, I think we did a little bit of man coverage, but it was mostly zone coverage. Steve Wilkes is going to be an aggressive coach. He's gonna blitz a little bit more. He's going to be more of a physical style of defense compared to what DeMeco brought. I think our third down defense is going to get a lot better because under DeMeco Ryans, we had the worst third down defense, which people don't even talk about it. Like, if you look at stats from the previous seasons with DeMeco Ryans, we've had the worst third down defense, which that gives you more 3 and outs. But I think with Steve Wilkes, you can get better with that.
So with the new addition to Hargrave, I don't know how they pulled that off to this day. But with him,
like robbing the bank or something,
right? Because we ain't got no money. With him joining the team, what does that say about who benefits more on the team with the addition of Hargrave?
I think the secondaries benefit more because they'll get some interceptions, and I think Drake Jackson would benefit more because they're going to focus on Hargrave, Armstead, Bosa, one-on-one. Drake Jackson or Clelin Ferrell will benefit the most. The secondary should get better. Third down defense, that's going to improve better because I had to do my research on statistics, and third down defense was one of our weakest part. So I want to throw that out there. And some people may say, what's that got to do with the statistics? Like, it actually makes a difference because if you can get the offense to go through 3 and out, that matters. And we've kind of given those opportunities to other teams. So I feel like if you look at that, I think with Steve Wilkes, you're not going to see a lot of these third down defense fall off. It's going to be better. We're going to find better ways to adjust. And Robert Saleh did give us a really good defense, but it was unpredictable. But I think the difference is you're going to get something similar, but a little more different style, an old school approach. Like,
I miss him.
Yeah, Steve Wilkes is like,
I miss him.
Yeah, Mr. Clean. Yeah, that guy's cool.
Yeah, hey. That's why I think nobody likes the Niners. The Niners have the best looking team in the NFL. Like,
we're most
the
cocky.
best looking team ever.
We're the most cocky, arrogant team. We get a little too cocky.
We're spoiled. Like, you got to understand, we're the first team ever in history with 5 NFC champs. So you got to understand, our fan base is spoiled. They're used to a standard. And then it seems like our standards dropped. I don't know what happened, but the expectations that I used to have, like, I was blessed to see 3 Super Bowls. I wasn't born for the first 2. I wasn't born yet, but I remember going to Kezar Stadium. I think it's in Frisco where they had their first practices.
Yeah,
And Kezar State, I call it Kezar. And it's just, I literally feel maybe we're going in a different direction, but the standards that I used to have doesn't apply anymore. Like the quarterback is always first priority. It seems like after Harbaugh, Bill Walsh to Harbaugh, it stopped. I honestly believe if you're the guy, the it guy now, you got the job. It doesn't matter your skill set. I feel like the Niners don't care about quarterbacks anymore. I really feel that way. We don't care about quarterbacks.
Like they don't value it. Like if you're a solid, if you're solid or decent, oh, you are a guy. Like
you're the guy.
Like let's look at the way it is. Like I don't know, something about number 13 just tells me it's not good luck. Like come on, like if we look at the 13, like the past numbers of 13, Tim Rattay, he was a 7th-round pick. He was a wonder, but didn't do much. And then you know who was a wonder at number 13? Sean Hill, that guy. Remember him?
That's our bad luck number.
I don't know why. Come on, kid, get rid of it. Like that's
not our number, man. For some reason,
Dan Marino number.
That's why.
You know, that's what I've heard. Brock Purdy's only wearing 13 because of Dan Marino, not because of Kurt Warner. That's what I've heard. His dad was a big fan of him, and Brock just wanted to wear that number.
I feel like the Niners and the fans rushed him back. I feel like Purdy really didn't mentally. I feel like because he feels like he has to jock for his position, I feel like if you see him in practice, them interceptions, you can see that he's like, that's not me. That's not who I am. But you're listening to this outside chatter. So it's affecting his mindset. So hopefully when we see, because I don't care, because they're going to be like, oh, it's preseason. It doesn't matter. You're held to a standard as quarterback 1.
Yes.
You earned that position. So therefore, you should have got your kinks out. That's why when they said Purdy was cleared, but he wasn't really able to play in practice, I felt like then that means he wasn't ready. He was only eligible for 3 practices. And every time, Purdy threw like 11 interceptions this entire practice. And it's just like, is he really ready?
Or is this just practice where it's just not his thing? Maybe he's Jimmy G in practice, just like how Jimmy G looks like. Jimmy G throws so many interceptions in practice. And the thing is, a lot of people who've covered practice, they always said it only matters if you perfect it before the games. But if you look at it this way, I think you look at Brock Purdy, he's shaking the rust off. Because, you know, I would rather make the mistakes in practice than actually doing them in actual games. The fact that he's kind of shaking off the rust off, it's kind of giving him the ability to not be afraid to throw the ball more. Because when he does it in live games, are you going to see him throw 4 interceptions or 10 in a game? No. You're going to see him kind of like shake it off and have some confidence. Like, I guess for some players, you want to take stock into practice, but practice is only good if you perfect it and execute it. It's all about executing in practice. It's all about the commitment, the chemistry. You work with his teammates. You work on what works on the plays. And if that play doesn't work, you can take that off the playbook. You can go on to the next play. That's part of practice. That's how I look at it. But
you think that Purdy's under like they say he's well and he can handle pressure, but the fact that you're quarterback 1 and you came back from a devastating surgery, do you feel the pressure of being Purdy from before is starting to bother him?
I think as far as like Purdy, you know, I don't know about the expectation, but I think it's going to be a lot of pressure because now they're going to see if he is the guy. Because he came into the league as the last pick in the draft. So
Brock is
forget.
a good quarterback, but I don't think he will win a Super Bowl. Elite quarterbacks win. Mm.
Well, elite quarterbacks do make a difference, but here's the problem with Kyle Shanahan. We had a chance to win the Super Bowl. The problem was we didn't run the ball. The running the ball was going to get us to beat Kansas City. We were up by 10 points. Kyle Shanahan, he stopped running the ball. What was the purpose of throwing the ball? That was dumb. It worked in Green Bay. Why stop what's not working? You know what I mean? But I think when you look at regression, I don't know about Kyle being in panic mode. Maybe Purdy. Dude, I've heard Purdy's recovered a lot better than expected. Dude, that's a Jimmy G type practice. I don't take it into stock like how some of the. I mean, if Purdy isn't the real deal, then Kyle Shanahan should be in jeopardy because one, you've given someone.
Say it again, Niner gang. Say it again, baby. I've been saying that ever since he does not respect the quarterback. I've been saying that, man. Like,
quarterback is not a quarterback position. That's a game managing quarterback. That's not a guy
but it's like nobody and I get it. That's why I say I feel Kyle got the job due to nepotism because his dad, everybody respected his father. But Kyle, since 2006, since he's been in the league, has not shown and produced anything. That's why I say I feel people mix his offensive genius with his coaching skills. And it's like, I'm not throwing shade at Kyle, but Kyle is not a good coach. To me, he's an okay coach who can get you to a playoff, but he has choked every time in the Super Bowl. He changes position. Like when you were just talking about it, brother, when you said in 2019, all you had to do was keep running the ball. And what did Kyle do? After that, he should have been fired, kicked in his face, whatever.
No, but that was the problem right there. It's like that was like a way to win the game. I would have thought him learning his mistake in Atlanta as a play caller, he could have just learned from running the ball. He just keeps repeating the same mistakes, and I think it would have been nice to have his dad be a play caller. Maybe his dad should have came out of retirement and actually make the calls himself and actually tell his son, "This is what's going to work. You listen to me. I'm your dad." I would have loved to see Mike Shanahan come out of retirement and be a play caller and tell us straight up, "Hey, let me do the calls." And he probably wouldn't disrespect any of his coaching staff because that's his dad. So if he disagreed with his dad would tell him, "Nope, I'm making that damn."
Go on timeout. I got this. I don't know. I mean, I think, yeah,
that's
all we can have.
Like we had chances to go for other quarterbacks when he first came in, but what did he do? Signed Brian Hoyer. He drafted CJ
Watson, Patrick Mahomes. We could have literally. I tell people if you paid attention to Brady in his interview when he said, "I'm not going to retire because I have unfinished business." I knew his unfinished business was he wanted to come home and play for his childhood team. But these dudes was like, "We're sticking with Jimmy." Like, do you realize this dude went to Tampa Bay and won a Super Bowl at his age? If we had Tom Brady, that quest for 6 would have been gone. It would have never been up there.
It would have been done with. It would have been over with because Tampa Bay wasn't doing squat before Brady. They were just a 7-win team. And what did Brady do? He brought a lot of players.
He went over there.
He pulled a LeBron.
Led that team. Bro, man,
he pulled a LeBron. He brought a bunch of his guys, which that's a good way to win championship. Don't get me wrong. You got Gronkowski. You brought some guys, and that's what you got to like.
But guess what? Super Bowl and money.
Yep. See, one thing about Brady that I'll give his utmost respect for is the fact that he doesn't care about the money. He just wants to win championship, and that's all that matters. If we can get when did you guys become Trey? I remember when I became a Purdy fan. When we became Trey fans, I became a Trey fan when we drafted him. I've actually liked him in the draft, but I wasn't sure if we were going to get him or not. So my guess was back then when we were coming into the draft, I had a gut feeling we were going to draft him because Kyle was talking about something like Josh Allen. So I'm thinking, okay, so
Please,
and it gave me the idea. Okay, Trey has that athletic ability. He's got that arm talent. Yeah, that's Josh Allen that he wants. That's the Josh Allen he wants. But don't be surprised if we don't make the playoffs. QB matters. If we can stay healthy, it wouldn't surprise me because maybe there's a change of scenery if we made changes with the coaching staff. Maybe Kyle goes. There's no more excuses
at all.
I mean, we should make the playoffs.
I love Trey. I feel Trey is that. My favorite thing I like about Trey is he's different. He's unique. He's athletic as crap. He just didn't get to play really because of the pandemic. But my understanding is I love Purdy too. We got two young quarterbacks who is healthy and hungry. The problem is the Niner people and fan base puts these expectations and have these expectations for these quarterbacks. And it's like, don't get your hopes up. Jimmy Garoppolo literally deterred me from having any expectations in life for this team. Like, I like Purdy, but is he going to be able to do it again? Like that's the one question. Like, can we make it this time? Can we go back to the NFC Championship? Are we that team again? And it's just, you never know.
Well, we'll have to see how that goes into the NFC West. I mean, the Seahawks are getting better on paper. The Rams are a question mark. We don't know if they are going to be good because you can say, yeah, they had injuries. They had a Super Bowl hangover. But maybe when you look at it differently, they were defending Super Bowl champions, and maybe they have some unfinished business, so you might not want to sleep on them. But I think we've always been guaranteed. I don't want to sound cocky, but anytime we play the Rams, it seems like we're guaranteed to win 2 games out of them. So I don't know. Prove me wrong until they finally get over the streak. But no disrespect to these Rams, because I'm going to Levi South, September 17th. I'm coming to your house, and it's going to be fun in LA. We're going to take over. And there's not going to be no excuses. Kyle,
on the Dodgers while you're there.
Year 7, Kyle. This is no excuses. You got your roster. You got your entire offense, a defense in the top 5. What other excuse do you need, Kyle? The depth is pretty strong.
When he had Purdy, he kind of felt a little bit less pressure when we were winning. So, do you feel now? He still feels pressure, or do you feel like he can breathe?
Like breathe what? Like in the quarterback? No,
Tell me seen from Trey and Purdy can't do.
Oh, I know. Okay, I'll tell you what. I can tell you what Trey can do that Purdy can't do. Purdy. I mean, Trey can throw a deep ball. He's got a deep ball arm. Purdy's an average arm. He throws decent, but it's not a long ball. Trey takes accountability. I don't think I've seen it from Brock Purdy yet. So I gotta say, accountability is something that Trey can bring. The only difference is Brock Purdy is I guess you could say he's a douche in a way, in a good way. Like he's got that Peyton Manning attitude, which I do like. But he doesn't have that arm that you see a lot of these quarterbacks. That's what everybody wants. Trey has the bigger body, but Brock has the heart. Brock is already
he's small.
Yeah, he's
and
small.
It seems like he can't take a hit. Dude was already like that. The ribs and then the high five he got from and then tore his UCL. So it's like because he's little. And he's so like, I love it. Because he represents us short people, but short you can't really I'm 5'2", but you can't really say anything about Trey because he's been injured and you really haven't got to see him play. But from what I've seen from Trey, he has the same leadership skills and quality. The problem is nobody has the same faith in him as they have with Purdy. I'm not knocking his his 8 games, but you can be the best when you have the greatest Super Bowl roster behind you.
Yeah.
Like, so now that he does not have that, and we're gonna see against Denver let's see what he can do with the crappy O line and stuff we have now. Because you can't praise him for 8 games when you have a Super Bowl roster. You got to be able to play with a horrible roster too. So we're gonna actually get to see Purdy play. And I'm praying, he can still be that same Purdy. I don't want no excuses of, oh, he just came back from injury. So did Trey.
But
and he didn't get the same love. He got nothing but shade since he got in this organization. That's why I say a lot of Niner fans don't understand the politics and how shady and racist this organization is. Because Trey has been getting nothing but hate and nothing but hate. But you got players like Jimmy, who's been here typically for 6 years and didn't accomplish nothing. Like,
doesn't even communicate with his teammates. Doesn't even bother to show up in practice sometimes, and that's a question mark. But he still wins games. But here's what I would say about Brock Purdy. From those 8 games, he just looked the part. He played the part, but I don't care about your size. I don't care how you look. The guy just seems to have the ability to win games. He kind of seems like the kind of guy. I mean, you know the difference between Trey and Brock Purdy? Brock Purdy is like that one popular kid in high school. Everybody just wants to be around him. Brock just seems like that cool guy. Like like when you go to high school, there's always that cool guy, right? But Trey's like that geek. Not with all due respect, in a good way, but Trey's a smarter guy. But players want to follow a guy like Brock because Brock seems like the coolest dude. Don't you kind of get that vibe a little bit? Maybe that's how they treat Trey a little bit. Not saying it like in a bad way, but Trey's a smart guy. But Brock is the guy that everybody just wants to follow behind because it's like the Jimmy G vibe. Jimmy G is the cool dude. Like when everybody looks at Jimmy G, they want to hang out with him, right?
Yeah, because he good looking.
Okay, see what I'm saying? But see the difference. This is why the players are buying into these guys. But you just said it.
I can't with Brock or Trey because they got them baby faces. I don't know. They mama could have doctored their birth.
Like John Harbaugh. Actually, Brock looks like John Harbaugh.
He does.
But that's what I'm saying. The players are buying into these cool little attitude because they're chill, they're cool. Like if you wanted to go to a party, who would you want to go to a party with? Trey, Brock?
I'm going with Trey. Y'all crazy. I go with you. I love the geeks, the nerds. I love them. I love them all.
If I'm going to a party, I'm going with Jimmy G. Because
money and bitches. Jimmy the Italian stallion. That's my man.
No, I'm just saying. No, I'm like Randy. I'm just going by comparisons. Like the you know what I'm saying, right? The psychology, right? The way how people look at the players. That's how they look at Brock Purdy. Brock Purdy's like that cool high school quarterback, the cool guy that everybody's talking about. Oh, we're gonna vote him for homecoming king. Oh, this is the guy that's gonna succeed.
He has that cool boy image.
Yeah. See, but I'm not saying it in a bad way for Trey. Like that's how everybody has a different category, but Trey's a smart guy. That's how everybody looks at it. But it's not a bad thing. But we're just doing it like a methodology, Doesn't mean I'm disrespecting Trey. I think Trey is a bright mind guy, but I think that's how the players look at it. Like they got a lot of respect for Trey too, but they like Brock. Brock is that cool dude. Like he's the guy that everybody wants to.
Trey embraced him.
Yeah, it's like let me ask you this question, audience. Let's say hypothetically, if you wanted to go hang out and go to a party, who would you rather hang out with? Trey? Brock? Come on, give me an answer to that, man. Come on, be common sense. Brock would probably be the guy. And I like Trey. But if I wanted to go to a good party and go to a VIP, I probably would want to go with Brock.
You crazy.
Brock would get me in. I mean, I don't know.
You crazy.
But if I wanted to go to a pretty chill place or maybe go do my homework, I go with Trey. He probably give me those cheat codes a little bit.
Yeah. Don't
Nah,
come
but
for my
hey,
quarterback.
nah, but it's cool. Like that's what I'm saying. See, everybody, he gets the joke. He gets the way I'm saying it. It just sounds like it.
Mhm.
Debo's like that cool guy too, but he's kind of like that one guy who doesn't show up on time. That's what he seems like. Like, okay, so if we're going by like school category, like let's put like the coolest guy, which I would put Brock on the top of the list because that's what it seems like. Debo would be the guy who doesn't show up on time. He would be that guy. Nick Bosa would be the quiet guy for some reason. Like, yes,
No,
guys.
both of the hoe.
Oh,
Both of the
oh!
hoe. Both of the hoe. I don't care what y'all say. Nick Bosa's a hoe all day. He's the hoe of the group. That's Bosa. Cause he know he's attractive. He knows that he looks good. He know.
He's a
So
prostitute.
Bosa would be that silent hoe. I'm trying to tell you guys. I'm trying to tell you.
Oh man. So
Kittle
so
the
who's
pothead. Kittle the pothead.
so so I guess I put Trey as the geek, which he's the smarter one, the smart one, the guy that probably studies the books more, which is a good thing. And then you have the one that wants to go hang out or do some dumb stuff. It just
Kittle.
seems like Kittle. Oh yeah, Kittle's that party
Yeah.
poop. Kittle's the
Kittle,
party.
that guy.
Oh yeah, Ayuk's another guy you want to go party with too. Yep, Ayuk's another guy. See, Ayuk's another guy. Debo's kind of like Debo's that kind of guy that does get in trouble, but probably doesn't show up on time.
Right.
You know, yeah, Debo's that one guy in school. Like I'm supposed to kick it with this guy, and he doesn't even show up on time. He's busy doing whatever. That's what it seems like.
Are we
Yeah,
gonna get 1,000 yards from Debo and Ayuk this season? Can you see it?
I think it's possible if a healthy Brock Purdy or if this offense does. I think Brandon Ayuk's going to be the leading receiver. Unfortunately, I think Debo's going to have his 1,000 yards. And here's a bold prediction. I think Christian McCaffrey's going to have 1,000 yards because he's going to get a lot of the passes. And it wouldn't surprise me if Kittle can stay healthy. Maybe he can get 1,000. I think this has got potential. It's got potential, but if I had to go realistically, I have to say Ayuk first. Because he's
so
actually
does that mean that Debo's kind of taking a back seat?
still he's still going to produce. It's just not going to be the same because if you look at the difference, he's emerging. Like Ayuk's emerging. Like in 2021, who was getting a lot of the catches? Debo was the guy at first, but Ayuk started breaking out late in the season. Now he's getting hotter. Best offseason. The last two offseasons, that's all everybody's been talking about is Brandon Ayuk improving his routes, catching the ball. He's actually been the leader of catching the ball throughout training camp. Nobody's even close. The guy has 30-plus catches, and everybody's way down. Even Debo. I'm telling you, it's got to be Brandon Ayuk first and then Debo number 2. Yeah, definitely agree.
I can see Kittle.
Hey, but I enjoy the little fun energy. You know, it sounds cool. You know, it's funny. I like to mix it up sometimes just for fun. But I think that's how I think when you're asking how does the players look at Brock compared to Trey, they look at Brock as the cool guy in high school. That's how they look at him. Like he's that guy. Like if you wanted to go to a party or go to a VIP, you're gonna have to go with Brock. Brock is gonna give you that. He's gonna give you that VIP pass to get in.
It's a clean boy that'll get you in.
Yeah, but you get what I'm saying. But hey, we'll definitely do some more. We'll probably do some recaps for the Niners and Broncos, and we'll do some more Saga. But for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. We're gonna do another Friday show. But hey, follow my girl Danielle Thompson, aka Dub Girl Nation, on Twitter. She has her own Twitter account. She's just starting to do some more podcasts. You know, we're gonna put in some more Saga, put in some more topics. But you know, tell everybody where they could definitely.
I'm on Twitter, Instagram. Follow, support my big brother Thompson Scribe, Marcus Thompson, Bay Area beat writer. You know, buy the books. The best one is KD. It's the Miraculous Rise. His first one is The Miraculous Rise of Stephen Curry. KD, Pursuit to be the Greatest. And his newest is Dynasties. Like,
Okay.
Follow him, support him. Thompson Scribe. I'm pretty sure you guys know him, but
Yeah, just to get everybody to do. Yeah. It was a pretty fun show. We're getting to the hour mark,
that was
and
good. We got some questions in.
you want some questions? Okay. You guys can leave a couple of questions, and we'd be glad to answer. But it was a lot of fun, I like to go a little extra. Yeah. So, Carcast, drop a question. Randy, drop a question. Daniel Barry, go drop a question. Butterfly, go drop a question. Niner Gang, or it's the kid.
Niner Gang, really? He didn't give a crap.
He seems more realist, and everybody, it kind of makes it sound like I'm a hater because I'm doubting on Brock. I want to see if he can do it again. That's just being realistic. Step up. Who's going to play number 2 tight end? That is a good question. Like, okay, you might have heard my answer before, Randy, and I'm going to say Braden Willis. And I know it sounds biased, but I am going to interview his dad tomorrow. His dad's going to be on the show, so I want to see more of Braden, but we'll see. He's actually made the most catches at tight end than the rest of the tight end, so I think he could be, but who knows? They can change. So I'll say Braden for the moment.
I say Willis.
Yeah, what you talking about, Willis? We're making waffles.
I can see Willis having a breakout. So
he seems like he's kind of like that guy that I've kind of been. What do you think your record will be this season? Ooh, interesting. That's a good question right there. You answer.
I would say 13-2.
Oh, you mean 13-4?
No, 2. I don't see us losing 4 games.
You said 13 but it's 13-4. Are you saying 15-2?
Yeah, 15. 15
Okay, this may sound crazy, but if we can stay healthy, if we can stay up to our potential, I say 14-3. That sounds crazy, but our ceiling could be 12. Our lowest ceiling could be 11. But I think we have a better chance to make the playoffs.
We're always contenders.
Yeah, has Sam Darnold been good? I've seen mixed reviews of Sam Darnold. He's kind of had his ups and downs.
Last practice, he was good. He had a good practice, but
1 for 7 completions.
Hey, that's good. So
the other day was 5 for 9. The other day was 5 for 9. Yesterday was 1 for 7. I guess he had a little ups and downs.
I'm done with that dude.
Hey, he looks like the person from The Incredibles.
He does.
Like that dude does. But Randy disagrees and says 12-5. Okay. I respectfully agree. I respectfully respect it. I can see possibility because let's not pretend we have slow starts. We do have slow starts, so it's possible. He sees the ghost. That's the problem. He still has flashbacks of Casper the friendly ghost.
That's just ridiculous, man. Like,
okay, will Mr. McCaffrey obsess Kyle using RBs by committee this season? I hope he keeps running backs fresh because I want McCaffrey to be healthy. When McCaffrey's on the field, we have a damn scary offense, no doubt. Like, what do you think?
Yes, I just don't want him to do McCaffrey like Carolina did and run him to the ground. Like,
it's the kid 916. Which team am I looking forward to this season? I would say Cowboys, but nah, I want to say Philadelphia Eagles because Seattle. It seems like it, but I'm going to say. This is a tough one. I actually so if I had to go by without the pass, I would like to see the Niners versus let's see the Niners. Like, so I have to pick those. I have to take those two out of the equation. Yeah, I hate the Cowboys. I'm guilty as charged, so I'm not going to throw that out there. Despite how I feel about the Eagles, got to throw that out the way. So I want to say the team I'm looking forward to this upcoming season to me is I'm going to say the Baltimore Ravens because I think we have something to prove, and I want to see if we could actually do well against that team. Because Baltimore, when they have a healthy team with Lamar Jackson, that's a scary football team. So I'm excited to look forward to Baltimore. Oh, but if we're talking about sleeper teams, I'm going to say the New Orleans Saints could be a sleeper this year because
Derek Carr. Yep, Derek Carr.
Derek Carr had no better supporting cast with the Raiders. He had a good offense, but the defense sucked. The Saints have at least a top 5 defense. I do like the Lions as far as like a team that seems interesting. You know what? Last year, watching the Detroit Lions, that was a good football team to watch with these close games. They just seem exciting to watch, and especially the Hard Knocks.
But they kind of start off good and just fall off for some reason.
But they were kind of excited for a moment, right? They were excited for a minute. Like it just seemed like you were kind of like, yeah. I don't know. Do you think Cleveland can make the push for the playoffs this year?
Yeah.
They got some talent.
I'll tell you who's not good.
Who's not good?
Josh Allen. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry, people. I think Josh Allen is just the it guy. He looks athletic. I don't see what I think Josh Allen is going to get exposed.
Ooh.
And he's going to break up. Ooh, yeah.
Ooh, how dare you take shots on my guy from the 559.
I said it.
I'm just messing with you, but in all seriously, he actually played at Reedley College, and he lived in 45 minutes from my city. But yeah, this guy, everybody doesn't know what they see out of him, but he hasn't really won the big games. So I want to see Josh Allen make the next step, and if he can do that, I'm cool with it. But hope we don't. Dude, I don't know about the Lions if they can get a better defense, bro. We can beat them in the shootout if we wanted to. Hey, what's up, Flame Chiefs? Man, we got a bunch of random fans, and actually it's still popping in the stream. Everybody's still kind of like popping in the comments, and they seem more interested of the Saga more than those other weeks, you know? I think this is a thing. I think we got to keep the Saga going every Friday just to throw the drama.
I love the Saga. I love the name. The name is so catchy, man.
I came up. I mean, you came up with it. You came up with it. I just went with it.
I know, because it's like the Niners is like a soap opera drama. You never know. So it's like 49ers Saga. What will happen next? And it's like every other day. It's always drama. And it's like,
yeah, it never goes away. And plus, why not just have somebody like you who just brings the Saga? You know, that's what. So I think a catchy phrase for us is what's in the Saga in SF. You know, we just throw it out there, throw some scoop out there, and shout out to John J. He has the other account, but everybody go check him out. Y'all heard about Dak Prescott? Absolutely. What? Did Dak Prescott crap in practice? Good Lord. That better not be true. That would be embarrassing.
I'll beat the Chiefs. So.
Ooh, yeah, Ravens will be scary this year. Like, I think Ravens with the receiving core they got and a healthy Lamar Jackson, I think that's going to be a pretty scary team. That's why I'm excited about the Ravens, because I think that's going to be a very good challenging team, and that can determine whether we are legit or not. Because Baltimore, they do have an explosive offense. Their defense is still in the top 5, and they're still a well-coached team by John Harbaugh, whether we have to disagree or not. As much as I hate to say it, John Harbaugh was the better Harbaugh.
Man, the Harbaughs, man, they're good. They're good. It's in their DNA, man.
Yeah, salute to everybody else, man. Keep popping the questions, because it seems like me and Danielle we're just here. We're just here so we don't get fined.
Well, that's the greatest line ever in NFL history, man. Shout out to Marshawn Lynch. Shout out to Lynch.
Yeah, we're just here, guys, so we don't get fined. You know, throw the comments. You know, we can go for 10 more minutes or whatever, or however long. It's kind of been a fun, you know. Hey, actually, having Danielle is a lot of fun. You know, she gives me a lot of fun energy. You know, we were just having a good laugh about the high school drama stuff.
Even though he a USC hater, I don't know why.
Hey, it's because Lincoln went over there. Lincoln left Oklahoma. That's why. I used to like
Because
USC.
we set the standard for greatness. We breed greatness. Okay,
That's true. I mean,
stand
that's true. I think when I looked at USC in past years, I always liked Reggie Bush. I've always liked
He
him.
needs his Heisman back so bad.
Yeah. Oh, what's up, 49er Jeff's new in the comment? Shout out to him. It's always nice to have a lot of people in the comment section, but hey, my guy from the 559, Moses, bro. This guy is the DB coach. This guy will yell at DBs. This is an old school coach, man. This is the guy. If you want a guy to coach up your son, this is the guy. This is the guy who coaches DBs at the best, man. I got to have him on my pep talk show. This is what people want to listen to. I'm going to bring Moses in in a week or so, and I'm going to have Moses do his little pep talk show. So you guys want to see some Coach Moses pep talk? Leave the comments, say hell yeah. Hey, 15 people were popping. I don't know. Something about you is just, it seems like they want to come to see you. That's and you got a lot.
I got a question for my Niner faithful fan base. What do you guys think, which I feel is very disrespectful, why do you guys think Roger Craig is not in the Hall of Fame?
Very good question. I think they look at the fumble. That's the problem. I think he should already be in the Hall of Fame no matter how you look at it. And I met Roger Craig, got his autograph. I got the big, fat autograph picture of Roger Craig, and I got a picture of him. And he's one of the nicest guys, one of the most chillest dudes out there. Like, I don't get why he's not in the Hall of Fame. It's beyond laughable.
Crazy, huh?
Oh, yeah. Hey, you are a hard dude. You are a hard coach, man. Don't make me go on the sidelines, Moses. Don't make me go over there. And I'm just playing, bro.
Do you also think it's because he doesn't have a lot of representation and nobody's speaking up for him?
I think so. Because when you don't have a lot of those type of representations and all that stuff, and you know what? He played on a pretty loaded Niners 80s team. That's the problem. That's how they look at it. But Roger Craig revolutionized the position. There's no right? Christian, there's no Marshall Faulk, there's no Christian McCaffrey
without Roger Craig. That's what I say.
Yeah, and it's disrespectful that he's still not even getting the recognition. I think the fumble is what's holding him back. He should have been a long time ago. Even some Bronco fans or other fans even said that he should already been in the Hall of Fame.
Hall of Fame. I feel like if Bill Walsh was there,
yep,
he would have been in the Hall of Fame.
That's facts. Coordinator Jeff, that's facts. He was the first one in 1985. He had 1,000 yards receiving, 1,000 yards rushing. That was the standard in today's NFL. He would do when Bill Walsh said that he was going to have a running back go for 1,000 yards and 100 yards. 1,000 yards rushing. People thought he was crazy. Mm-hmm. That guy was a genius. He said that he was going to have a running back doing that. Now it's the standard in today's football. You have your Christian McCaffreys. You have what is it? Alvin Kamara when he's on the field. You have Saquon Barkley that could do stuff like that. There's not a lot. There's different standards in today's football. Oh wait, very disrespectful. Are you from Sac? Nope, I'm from Fresno, which is in Clovis. So.
Why nobody don't never want to claim Sac?
But they're I guess they're saying if you're from Sac, I don't think so.
No, I was born and raised in East Oakland. All I know is the town. That's it. I can't never be from Sac.
Something about Oakland, it's always business. It's always business. That's what it is over there.
Town business. Town business.
They don't play around. They don't play around.
I grew up in Sobrani, moved to 500 Mob, moved to seminary, and my last address was 89th and A Street. All I know is Oakland. I've been to LA. Like, no one cares about LA, but.
I mean, the Lakers all I care about. But I'm going to be going.
Wait, hold on. Please tell me, you're not a Dodgers fan. Don't break my heart, man.
I'm not a Dodgers fan. I just have like a cap with it, but I'm more of a Giants fan.
There we go. I can't. What gets me is how Niner fans are Dodgers fans. Like, The Dodgers, bro. Like,
But then you're not gonna like the fact I'm a Lakers fan. I just like Lakers because of Kobe. I'm guilty with the Kobe connection. It just stuck with me ever
it's all
since.
right. It's all right. As long as you know.
I mean,
I tell a lot of Lakers fans that bring up their championships, always
well,
say, we don't care about them Jim Crow era rings. We talking about now. Like,
no,
we don't care about the Jim Crow era. Wait, y'all.
Daly City, aka the Cow Palace.
Ooh,
Oh,
Cow Palace.
speaking of the Cow Palace, I have a memory of Cow Palace. I was at the No Way Out WWE No Way Out pay per view in the Cow Palace, which was on February. I think it was on February 15 or 14 in 2004. I was at that event, and the late Eddie Guerrero won the championship. Eddie Guerrero beat Brock Lesnar for the WWE championship. I was there. You know who was there? Bailey was there. The wrestler Bailey was at that event. A lot of people who was at the Cow Palace, that was one of the best. That was actually one of my first pay-per-view wrestling matches I attended was at the No Way Out pay-per-view at the Cow Palace. Oh, come on, John Jay. See, John Jay's a Warriors fan just like you. He's just going to trash my Lakers. I get it.
Hey, how long? No, I've been a Warriors fan since Corey Maggette, Adonal Foyle. I came before this dynasty. So I'm
way before the different time. Like there's the realistic fans. John Jay is one of the originals. I know you're the original.
Okay, long as he original.
Well, John Jay said when he went to the Warrior games, the tickets were pretty cheap back then. He said
you can get it for like $1. Like it was literally out the newspaper. Like free hot dogs, free parking. Like we were the Knicks before the Knicks were the Knicks. Like
but that's
horrible. I have a horrible love. I have a hatred for the Clippers to this day. Like the way the Clippers used to spank us was disrespectful.
Yeah. Ooh, Moses is just not really high on Avery Thomas. CG, everyone is high praising Avery Thomas. As of for me, I'm not convinced he still needs to prove it on the field. Not get cooked and pissed me off. I actually like to see you know what? If we made videos of Moses being pissed off, you know damn well he's serious. Like if you ever see a Moses like rant and yell, you know he's not playing around. And that's like a real coach mentality. I've had him on a lot of times. And I'll tell you what, when he criticizes on some player, he's gonna tell you like it is. Like, despite him being biased with Quatrez Knight, he likes Quatrez Knight because he played with his son, according to what he told me. So when he plays with his son, he likes Quatrez Knight. I think Quatrez Knight is not that bad. He's actually pretty good. He's versatile. He can play safety. I think he can play the nickel, if I was correct on it. Oh, since the Run TMC, I guess this is what he said. He's been a fan since the Run TMC.
Ooh, he old school.
Yeah, but weren't you like old school, like from the 80s, right?
Yeah, I grew up like Adonal Foyle was the greatest center. Jason Richardson, the Sprite dunk contest winner. Believe it or not, the one Warrior I could not stand until I actually, like growing up with my brother, I actually got to meet basketball players. That's the only perk. There was only one person in the NBA, believe it or not, I could not stand. I thought he was the devil. It was Andre Iguodala.
Ooh, you're talking about Iggy?
I couldn't stand the ground he walked on. I felt he was trying to bite off AI. Like, I couldn't stand him. Then I got to have a conversation with him. Now he's my favorite person. I could not stand Iggy, believe it or not. I used to be like, oh, get away from AI. Go start your own legacy. Like, I couldn't do it.
I mean, I think I've seen him at a lot of different episodes where he was on the Niners shows too. I think he was on a couple of Faithful shows, and he appeared on some games. Like,
let your guest know to ask my son how much of a hard ass I am.
Oh yeah, he is.
Oh, you're a hard ass. I grew up with hard asses and assholes, so bring it.
Yeah, I think
I love hard asses.
I like tough love coaches. I don't like these soft little nice coaches.
He needs to be our coach. Ask him to be our coach.
Ooh, who he says Bill was it? He says the one person I could not stand is Bill What?
Lambier.
Who's
Oh, Lombardi.
Oh, Lombardi. Is it Bill Lombardi or is it Bill Lambier? I don't know. Oh, Jason Richardson was a 2-time slam dunk, which is a different time of your guys. That was like before. So I guess from what what John Jay told me back then was the tickets were so damn cheap because you guys were like the Nets. Okay.
We were the Knicks before the Knicks were the Knicks. Like the Warriors was so trash. Like you had to, the fact that they had to advertise free parking, free hot dogs, just to get people to like. I remember even when we had Steph, Clay, and Draymond and them used to come walk around and give out free tickets. Give out, like, hey, if you come and I'll write this and they call this number, you'll get this. Like, that's how bad we were.
I was advertising them, but then once you guys started becoming a really good powerhouse team,
it grew. Yeah. Dub Nation grew. And I still wasn't a Curry fan. I'm Team Clay all day. Team Clay all day.
Oh, Bill Lambert from the Pistons from the 90s. Come on, CG. Well, dude, I don't – okay, so you said you didn't like Bill Lambert. I didn't keep track of it. Please, Bulls all the way. What time is it? Oh, he's a Bulls fan. Good Lord. The only Bulls player I like is
Bulls fan. Why don't you take notes? Maybe you guys can know what it's like to win.
Oh, he was. Oh, he was one of the bad boy Pistons. Oh, he was one of the dirtiest players, right? I believe he was one of the dirtiest.
Dirtiest player ever.
Well, you know who else was a dirty player? Was Dennis Rodman, the Worm.
Yeah.
That guy was a dirty player, but he had a
psycho.
Yeah. You know who else? I don't want to sound like a harsh guy, but I think the one player that kind of seems like a really good dirty player in today's NBA is Draymond Green. He gets away with shit sometimes.
Oh no, CJ, no sir. No, sir. Hold on. Look, hold on. See, I was trying to be cool.
Okay.
You need to tell me the little crap he do. They were way worse back in the day. Well, I am not negating. At the end of the day, I don't give a crap what nobody say.
No, but
I literally feel like this. The Jordan pool, I'll even talk about it. I get it. Different time, different era. But because it was caught, because somebody in the staff leaked it, that's why. But I literally feel like if the entire team watched Coach Kerr get punched in the mouth, in the eye, but he put it to the side and won a championship, that showed me that Poole's not fit. Yes, Draymond Green should have been suspended for that. I never will ever. I'm going to defend Draymond, but he should have suffered consequences. And I felt like that's why our old coach, our old GM, Bob Myers, left, because he was letting his personal feelings get in the way with business. But you guys have to understand, Draymond is who he is. He is from Detroit. He is not actually as dirty as James Harden and LeBron.
So he's a little different.
Draymond is a tiny bit. Yeah, he talks shit. He's rowdy. That's what he is. But dirty? No, because he tripped over somebody's chest? Come on, man. He grabbed his leg.
But then again,
I watched him kick, what's the name, when they used to literally raw dog you, choke slam you, give you like a clothesline from hell back in the days. And they would have.
Are we going the old school wrestling way? Okay.
Man, they were worse. They used to kick people in the face. Ugh.
Bro. You know what I just saw on the live stream before we did a show? A Houston Rockets fan was trashing James Harden. Unheard of. They must not be a fan of James Harden.
He needs to go there. From what I heard, his mom is having a health crisis, so I figured he was going to go back home to be closer to her.
Yeah, that's crazy. But he's like one of those guys too. I guess he is a dirty player too in some ways. But Draymond Green's always been on the news. You know, he's always been on that spotlight. Sometimes I think it's what
player of the year.
Yeah, that Jordan Poole incident is pretty much what threw it out there. But I think when it came to playing games, he would be smart on being that dirty player. He would try to play a smart game where he can get away a little bit and knew what he could and cannot do. That's what I was saying. Like, he was like, I wouldn't say he was like, I wouldn't say a dirty player. I would say he had a mental mindset of how to play it.
He learned from the best.
Yeah, if he knew he can get away with it by doing it this way, he was just not going to hesitate. But I know we've been going on with these topics all day. I know it's a mix of everything. I know looking forward to other seasons, but I think we'll see what happens. But man, we've been going on for like an hour and 24. I don't know if there's any more questions. I mean, it seems like, but the chats were popping. Like everybody was popping. Even John Jay likes what you got to say because he's a Warriors fan. But yeah,
9-12, John. 9-12.
Yeah, long time. But for everybody else, thank you guys for tuning in. We'll definitely do another Friday show because it seems to me everybody wants to see what we got to say. You want the saga? Come Friday, 2 p.m. Pacific time. Come see me. Yeah, come see me and Danielle, or should I say, AK Dub Girl Nation, because we're going to bring the saga in the Bay, and that's what's popping. Peace, y'all.